All right, what's up, everybody? It's BallietBran. We're doing a little bit of a surprise live stream since Discourse Syndicate's not going on tonight, and I didn't see anybody else going on. So wanted to pop in for maybe like 45 minutes or something like that, and just say what's up to the Hexicans, and just give everybody an update. So without further ado, Mark, who I had on my stream most recently, he recommended that I talk a little bit first and then do the intro. So we're giving it a test, and without further ado, we're just going to play this intro that's 90 seconds long, and then we'll chill for another 30, 45 minutes and just chit-chat a little bit about some news and go from there. So without further ado, give me about 90 seconds, all right?
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, be sure to share, be sure to comment. Say heck. Heck, yeah. Say heck, heck. Heck, yeah. Say heck. Boom. Say heck, yeah. Say heck, yeah. Woo-hoo. Stake that heck, stake that heck. 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 Every time I look up, price went up. I go to the store, come back, price went up. Every time I look up, price went up. No matter what I do, price is still going up. Hell yeah. Ching, ching, motherfucker. Ching, ching. I am the book. Ching, ching, motherfucker. I just keep hitting jackpot after motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch.
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. BallietBran.
Alrighty, what's up, everybody? It's BallietBran. Bear with me for just a second while I get this shared out on just a couple other Twitter channels. This is just going to be a quick live stream, maybe 45 minutes or something. I didn't see anybody else live streaming tonight, at least according to the schedules that I've seen. And as far as the schedule goes, Kinetics was saying that Discourse Syndicate's not going to be going on tonight due to like RG3's anniversary. So congratulations, RG3, on the anniversary. And I do want to cover a little bit of news today that kind of came out with the Fed and going down for a few hours. Some of the like the main structures and bones of the financial system like went down for a few hours. So we can maybe cover that. I know Richard retweeted it earlier. So just want to hang out for a few minutes, I'll be going over to the girlfriends a little bit later and maybe like an hour or so. But until then, just want to hang out with the Hexicans. I didn't go live last Sunday because Richard was streaming, and then the Sunday before that was Valentine's Day, so I was hanging out with the girlfriend. So, anyways, good to see everybody. Let's shout out some of the Hexicans in chat. We got a bit Hex, Bit Finesse, Mark Schaefer 23. Oh, let me highlight the comments. Let's see here. Pabalaba, good to see you. It says, "Sup, bro? I'm glad we have a stream tonight." Yeah, that's kind of how I felt too. Is even though I will be going over to hang out with the girlfriend a little bit later, I do want to say what's up to the chat. So I'm glad I can provide like an hour's worth of content. So don't panic. Hey, good to see you. Smash the like button. Totally agree. Let me just go over to the YouTube real quick here. Just 1 second. Cool. All right, let's see. So don't panic. Good to see you, Michael, all the way up. Yep. Let's see. David Morales. I know you guys, you and Hexo, and a whole bunch of other Hexicans, Hexcon, and some other people, and Timothy Benjamin got to hang out in Florida. That looked badass. I've only hung out with RG3 and would love to hang out with a lot of you Hexicans, sometime soon, in the next year or so. So that'd be awesome. Let's see. Dolomite, hey, good to see you, my friend. And Elbow Cough. Identity, yep, good to see you, man. We'll have to do another stream sometime soon. And that's it for now. Oh, yeah, so what happened at the Fed. I'll cover that in just a second here. Hey, Crypto Sparbook. Have I checked out Layer 2? So honestly, I don't know Layer 2 a whole bunch as far as the market itself, but I know there's a couple Layer 2 solutions that I mean, people like Brennan have and I haven't necessarily done enough research on it to completely endorse it, but like the Quick Swap, I guess, is a like a Layer 2 that's got some hex liquidity, and some of the Hexicans seem to be using that, which is Layer 2. And as far as the other things go, I know I don't know. I know Ethereum's been working on stuff like that, but yeah, Layer 2 I'd like to learn more about before before talking a whole bunch, or maybe get someone like Kyle on that might know a little bit more. Let's see. So yeah, we'll cover that Fed information, Blue Bum, in just a few minutes. I've got the article in the tab. We'll cover it in just a few minutes. Bit Finesse, great to see your fucking face, Bran. Good to see you too, man. Needed some relief. I'm getting pretty close to busting out my cheese grater and going hunting for middlemen. Yeah, the whole epitome of cryptocurrency, and especially like DeFi, right, is to end the banks and get rid of middlemen and things like this. But what seems to be happening is more middlemen getting structured into like quote unquote DeFi and things like this that happen. Richard mentions oracles a lot, that like Chainlink, for example, is an oracle coin and stuff like this, and people thinking that things are actually decentralized when they're not. They're kind of just misquoting it. And anyways, as far as Hex goes, and as far as this Fed article goes, we're going to cover a little article in just a second here. But one thing I want to say about Hex is, it is kind of like the epitome and almost like the Kickstarter of DeFi, right? It kind of launched off that huge DeFi bull run. And I wasn't necessarily even doing much research or any research on any of that stuff, but mainly kind of just sitting back in Hex and watching the gains happen. But oh yeah, Crypto Sparbu says he can educate me on this, so that'd be pretty cool. Kyle gave the green light to use it for dollar cost average in the Hex. Awesome fees. Okay, so he's talking about the Quick Swap, I believe. Awesome fees, fiat to Ethereum, Layer 2 directly is possible as well. Not sure about the US. Yeah, that is one thing about the US is the the fee, or not the fees, but the regulation and whatnot. So let me get into the article. And the thing I wanted to say before I got distracted was Hex has 100% uptime, right? And it's got no middlemen. We rated someone in Hexologist. He had a stream, like always he does every day. But then after the stream, this guy that does like weightlifting and whatnot, we rated him, and he's asking is this legit? And you got some people in the chat saying, oh, Ponzi or scam or blah, blah, blah. But this guy was more open-minded and actually taking mind of what we were saying and doing his own research. So I always appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get into it. But he said oh, is there any middlemen? Can Richard control it? And we're like, no, it's decentralized. There's no admin keys, things like this. Okay, so yeah, it was a cool raid identity. I like that guy. He had a really cool story, right? People are really, really wizards with the OBS, and I want to get into that because that seems like you can just do a lot more creative and fun stuff. But yeah, the guy's OBS had this notification that would go off every time when someone followed, I think, and it was him as a fat little younger kid. So pretty cool to see the transformation. All right, without further ado, let's share the screen. Let's go into the Brave tab, and we're actually going to go into the tweet, and then we'll segue into it, right? So let's scroll up to Twitter just real quick, because it is going to be a quicker stream, right? It's 6:03 Pacific Standard Time. Maybe we'll go to 6:40, 6:45, something like that. All right, so this is Richard's Twitter, but down here he's got he's talking about RG3, no Discord syndicate. So, congrats to you on the, anniversary. But then down here, we've got, oh, look, the U.S. banking system came back online. And the article says, Fed says restoring disrupted FedWire and other services. So let's click on this, and let's make sure we're sharing. Okay, so it's still stuck on that screen. Let me, 1 second here. Let me just open up the article, which I've got right here. Awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this. It's from Reuters, and it says FedWire resumes operations after hours-long disruption. And let me zoom this in a smidge so I can see. All right, the Federal Reserve says its FedWire funds, FedCash, and some check clearing services have resumed normal operations after a more than 3-hour disruption to more than a dozen critical central bank payment services, forming the backbone of the United States banking system. So that's sometimes in systems like the U.S. dollar and the United States and whatnot, they can be so big, and most people might like ignore articles like this, or like glitches in the system, or like Bitcoin with the critical vulnerabilities and things like this. And this is almost like akin to like Bitcoin's critical vulnerability, but for the dollar and stuff like this is at least what it seems to me. I haven't studied a whole bunch. Like I know a little bit about the system and whatnot, and I'm not 1,000% sure that that's what's going on, but that's what it seems to be, right? A little bit of a shock to the system, and it doesn't seem to have 100% uptime like Hex does, right? And it's got quite the opposite. It's got a whole bunch of centralization, control, and all this stuff. And with Hex, you get to be your own bank, right? A lot of the institutional money, and I think it's good, right, is coming into Bitcoin and things like this. But what the average Bitcoiner doesn't realize is, they've maybe got, I don't know, $50 to say like $5,000, right? And in reality, the actual like structure of Bitcoin is, a lot more people have more Bitcoin than smaller wallets, right? The actual centralization of it. And so in Hex, it's creating new whales. And so wanted to cover this article a little bit. Let's keep going just a smidge more. Okay, so staff first became aware of a disruption to services at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let's see here. It said, as of 2:58 p.m., its website was still reporting an alert status for several of its areas. So we'll cover just a couple more sentences. The affected services facilitate check clearing and allowing billions of dollars of payments to flow through, billions of dollars of payments to flow daily through the financial system. So that's no like chump change. It's not like a small leak in the system. This thing is what allows billions of dollars to flow, of payments to flow, directly through the financial system. And if something like this was down for, 3-4 hours, whatever the actual time was, that's it's just something to be aware of, right? Most people wouldn't be privy to this information, a decade ago or things like that. But now we've got more access to this information, and we can, keep more of these entities accountable, or we can at least keep ourselves accountable and maybe have different investments and things that we park our money into if we choose to. Okay, so FedWire funds in December handled more than 835,000 transactions a day on average. That's a lot. With a daily average dollar volume of 3.4 trillion. And for that thing to go down, I mean, it's just so interesting. And let me get out of the article for a second. It's just so interesting that we, it's cool and it's interesting to see like Bitcoin going up, making new all-time highs all the time, and not having these, these normal dips where it normally consolidates, because people like Elon Musk are parking $1.5 billion into it, and Michael Saylor and Grayscale and things like this are parking a lot of hedge fund and investment capital, right? Institutional money. So it's really cool to see that. And then also it seems to be like on a daily basis that like, oh, something with the stock market or something with with the Fed right here. So it's pretty interesting to see. All right, so let's cover some comments while I was chopping through that article. Hey, Crypto Learner, great to see you. Identity Block, good to see you again. They're talking about the Staker app update. Your app, they're always adding features. It's true. The Staker app is amazing. It's like your one-stop shop. It truly is like the one-stop shop for Hex. So it says I got new comments, and I just need to refresh this real quick here. So. All right, sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to exit scam. Something with StreamYard's kind of like glitching, right? So David, yeah, he talks about update your app. Identity Block, Fed exit scam. And I was reading another article that was talking about, or maybe it's a headline that's talking about like Fort Knox and things like this, and just talking about how the dollar used to be backed by gold and not just endless Fed money printing, right? And so with the way that the world changes and the way that we understand structures and things like this, you got to update your worldview to what's going on, right? Otherwise, if you're just, parking a whole bunch of money, say you got just a whole bunch of money just sitting in the bank and, just sitting in your savings, that's cool because it's liquid. You can access it at any time, but it's also being diluted. And so, especially if you understand how the dollar works, how the printing works, the art of inflation and things like this, it's slowly diluting, and it's actually quickly diluting the value of your purchasing power. And so that's one thing that I learned was like, before I got into crypto, I got into some precious metals and, had some friends that were kind of in, traditional finance and the precious metals things. And I always thought it was cool of not just parking, your hard-earned money in just fiat, right? Being able to have assets and things that actually work for you. One thing that Richard mentions is, not many people and nobody ever got like rich, working just a day-to-day job per se, right? Rich people, they usually build, or I should say wealthy people maybe, build their wealth through assets and things like this and things that allow you to sleep and still be earning, right? And while I'm at it, let me just turn on that backlight real quick since we got the stream there going. So that's one thing that I'm very happy and proud to be a part of, right? Is Hex, and to have, been in crypto, and then a couple months later heard about crypto Twitter, and I was like, all right, let's explore crypto Twitter. And I was kind of in like the shitcoin route of crypto Twitter, and I would see a lot of comments when Richard was on Twitter, because he was like the Bitcoin maximalist right before he got onto Ethereum and doing Hex. But one thing that I've noticed a lot of, and this guy that Hexologist rated kind of reminded me of the similar, is when you have a whole bunch of people, say in an audience, just something that I've noticed is like, you have a whole bunch of people yelling like, this is a scam, or, this person's a fraudster, or, just slander and whatnot. That actual effect is the cookie effect. Like, don't eat the cookie, or don't put your hand on the hot stove. You're curious to know what that is, right? So when I heard a whole bunch of, shit talk, or even, slight praise on Richard's Bitcoin maximalism in 2017, got me interested to be like, all right, who's this Richard guy? And similar to the guy with the raid, where it's like, okay, Richard's, he knows what he is, right? He does the social signaling thing, and he's, creative and his own character. And anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I'm happy to park my hard-earned money. I just work a 9-to-5 job, but I was happy to find Richard, find out that he was doing Hex, and then to get into Hex and get involved, because never really planned on doing streams or even being a part of like these communities aside from 2017, the crypto Twitter communities that I was in then. So it's really cool that, Hex has kind of like brought a lot of people together that are like-minded, that have very similar goals, that, we're constantly learning, want to go upwards, want to update our worldviews, and progress. So Hex allows a lot of us that opportunity. And, many of us that have already been in Hex, even for a reasonable amount of time, you see the interest and you're like, man, is this real? Like, you got stake wrap and you refresh it and it's like, man, this is awesome. So just wanted to say shout out to Hex, to Richard Hart. It's an amazing product. And unlike some of the space, even, not to just like compare Hex with everything, but when you look at Hex compared to everything, Hex, things like Uniswap are complete, right? Things like Hex are complete. But from the little bit that I've seen of the other markets, not many of them, if any, are complete aside from that. So it's really cool to see, like, hey, this is something that works. When you're putting your hard-earned money into something, how shitty is it? Like, this is why people hate getting scammed, right? But how shitty is it for you to, say you worked up to like $1,000 and, you put it into the investment vehicle and then it just goes to zero, or, you get scammed, that's a bad feeling. So with Hex, the cool feeling and the amazing thing is realizing, hey, those shares that you earned when you're staking it, they're never getting any cheaper from a Hex perspective, because that actual amount of Hex per T-share can only ever go up. That's how the code is functioned to work. It's like an S curve. Richard, he had a stream, actually it was pretty kind of cool, with Harry Dent, and not Harvey Dent, but Harry Dent. He kind of looks like Harvey Dent though, but actually not really. But anyways, it was really cool to see like the traditional finance guy that was kind of, perma bull, like he said he was a gold bear, and then someone like Richard, right? That's like the young, already retired, been retired since like 2003, and it was really cool to see Richard actually like conversing with someone and streaming with someone that wasn't just such a dumb pleb, So that was really fun to see, and I know a lot of you guys were in the chat too, and I think a lot of us enjoyed that. So Machiavelli, muffin hand effect, Blue Bum. Maybe we can call a trillion a hexillion. Getting into the weeds there. Machiavelli 23. Dirty fiat is a liability. Lock that shit up and get these T-shares. Exactly. To stay on topic, since we do have limited time, if we go to graph Hex.rocks, I know it's been a minute. I feel nice and rusty from not streaming for a while, but we're gonna change that. I'm actually moving my girlfriend's apartment right now, which is another reason why I haven't been streaming as much. But we're gonna go into the tab here and go to, here it is. Okay, so yeah, graph Hex.rocks, and this is just a website that's got some analytics and some information, right? And it's on the blockchain data itself that it's reading from and that it refreshes from. So the actual data itself is like the most up-to-date and most real-time, to my knowledge. So right now, Hex is about 80% of a penny. And then one T-share, which is 1 trillion shares, is $134.86 US. And I should actually go to Wales Only, his Twitter in a few minutes, and we can kind of look at some of his charts too. Because, when we're on the topic of charts and whatnot, he's got some great ones. But so the APY, I believe this is the actual average. So TVL says 492,844,026 US locked, and then APY is 36.99. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, I just wanted to show you about the actual T-share that, when Machiavelli talks about, holding your money in dirty fiat and things like that, it's true. I mean, the thing about the dollar and fiat and whatnot is, not only do you have, taxes that you have to pay, and especially if, not only do you have taxes you have to pay, and, whether you're a business or whether you, get paid hourly, you got to pay taxes there. But then you also got like the hidden inflation tax, right? Of like the hidden tax, I should say, of inflation. And people don't realize, like, man, holy fuck, this shit really is being devalued. So I just wanted to say that. Oh yeah, Will's only he's actually here. That's awesome, man. When I get settled in, so this weekend I'm moving, and then maybe like next week or next weekend or something, we can do another stream. You and Maddie and Kareem did another like 7-hour stream, and just wanted to say I watched all of that, and it was really good. And it's cool to see you in the community. Just like with you, Wells. Same thing with myself. That even though I've been in since day one and have followed Richard for multiple years and whatnot, I never did anticipate, even though I got into Hex, never anticipated in like doing the community thing and then joining people's streams and stuff like that. So it's cool that you had a similar experience when you made like one, or it was a stream, like you streamed for your first video was like a few hour stream, and you were kind of going over some of the hex charts and graphs and data and whatnot, I believe, that you created. And anyways, pretty cool to see that things like Hex can like push you, not like just in the right direction, but like it's not something that you feel like you have to do. You're actually like genuinely curious about it. And Hex is very intriguing, especially with its game theory and with the way that crypto goes up and to the right and things like this. Just like Bitcoin did, it's really cool to see, other people like Wells providing, charts that I've never seen before, in graphs and data that I've never seen before. So, he had a stream with Maddie and Kareem on Maddie's channel on Tuesday, so which was just yesterday. So go check that out. That was a great stream, and thanks for all you do. It happens. Oh, I feel it. David says, great to hear your girlfriend is locking you down. Hopefully for a lot longer than, yeah, exactly. Than Quattro Cinco, exactly. Then one day before Quattro Cinco. Yeah, exactly. I like dating and whatnot, but marriage doesn't seem to make a whole bunch of sense to me. Okay, so let's see. What else we got? Yep. Bitfinesse is in the house. And, okay, here's what he says. There's more. Let me zoom this in. Sorry about this. There's more than we're being told. I have several $650 deposits that left my checking account to Coinbase that haven't been acknowledged by Coinbase yet. From two weeks ago, I've stopped the cash flow in for now. Yeah, that's yeah, Mark, exactly. Rug pull. Bitfinesse, that's interesting, man. That's it's one thing that is necessary, I think, right? As cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin kind of led the way, but it's got a lot of vulnerabilities and flaws too. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of forgot the point that I was going to make there, but anyways, identity block. Yep. Good to see you. And then it's pretty much what we got for now. So yeah, RG3, he's got the the anniversary with the girlfriend, with the wife. So congrats on that. And Kinetics will be doing the Wake Up Hex show tomorrow. I think it's at I think it changed the time now. I think it's like 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, because it used to be 6 a.m. when I'd go to work, and now it's at 7, which is even more perfect. Girlfriend Hex, seed word rug pull. No, it's not good. We don't got to worry about that. We're good there. Let's see. Old man Hex, no delays with Eris X. Yeah. So, I know Crypto Sparbu, which is Patrick, I believe. He was kind of talking about the second layer, right? So, there are second layer solutions being developed and tested and slowly being implemented, it seems, in other layer 2 solutions. And then with Hex, it seems that like right now it's nice to be a Hexican and to be staked and to kind of just be laying back, right? So a lot of people talk about the gas fees, which which I'm definitely one of them, right? That's paid some gas fees, especially if you had any tokens to claim, or you got to do a swap, say from ETH to Hex or whatever your actual swap is. Then it all costs gas, right? And it's got to be settled on Ethereum, at least with how Uniswap is doing it. So, no strangers to the gas fees. I know they're definitely expensive, but it'll get here when it gets here. And at least for now, I'm at least grateful that I'm not on a whole bunch of other networks and whatnot that are causing a whole bunch of fees. So actually, I'm also on DLive too, and wanted to open up the tab and just see if there was any comments. Oh, nice. Someone says, "Hey, bro, me send you lemon, you send me Bitcoin, okay?" No, thank you. No, thanks. Desert Shark, what's the best online resource for following Hex? I thank you in advance for your reply. Yep, thank you. I have hooked onto the Hex after seeing your advertise. Hey, I'm happy to see that, Desert Shark. Happy that I could bring at least one person into Hex. So the best online resource for following Hex, let me show you right now. So, and it's actually got something that we can kind of close out and end on topics, right? Is the new Hex.com website, right? And something that Matt, Crypto Coffee, has kind of had some involvement in helping come to fruition. So thanks for doing that. I personally wasn't one of the people that was so anal about the website where I wasn't a fan of it. To me, the website just looked fine. But, the new website looks great too. And let's look at the new website, right? Hex.com. All right, let's share the screen. And then also, Hexo, hey, good to see you, man. Cool to see a little bit of the family vlogs and streams. Not the snowboarding, but the sledding and whatnot that you guys were doing in that one video seemed pretty cool. So good to see you, man. He says, hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you, man. I am, and it'll be nice to get back into, hopefully this Sunday. The Saturday we're doing the moving, and then hopefully this Sunday at my normal time, the Wi-Fi and all that will be set up for the normal stream. So at least for now, we're doing this stream to cover some info. Hope you're invited to the wedding. Yep. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Right. So this is the new Hex.com website. So just Hex.com. So immediately we can see the background, kind of like a whole bunch of skyscrapers and high-rise. And then you can see it's almost like geometric growth from like the Hex logo itself, right? How it kind of, I actually just noticed something, but how it goes up and to the right? It's actually, this one's missing the first hexagon itself. But anyways, it's kind of like that where almost if you like at a candle chart where you might be looking at like Bitcoin at like a penny or $1. And then you zoom out like 10 years later and it's at $50,000. It's kind of like that kind of vibe to me when I look at this background. So that's great. And it says Hex stakes average 40% interest a year. And yeah, that's for like the average staking length, right? Which is like 4.8 years, 5 years, something like that. So I believe, right? That is kind of the caveat there. And so it says 3 little check boxes. The first blockchain certificate of deposit, yes. High interest, no minimum, and decentralized design. That's the amazing thing, right? Bitfinesse talks about, Coinbase not freezing, but like slowing funds or like not acknowledging those funds, right? That's disgusting. We've a lot of us have had, whether it be fraud and somehow I got screwed over it and or I got scammed and I can't get the money back. Things like that. Those things suck. So it's cool that we do have things at least because we didn't have this in 2017. Hex to rely upon, but especially for the bear markets and things like this, Hex is a damn godsend. So you're earning interest based on a whole bunch of things. The percentage of people logged and emergency end stakes and things like that. And if the price is going down, well, hey, you're still earning interest, and it's any cryptocurrency or any asset kind of fluctuates, right? It pulses or it breathes, it goes up and down like a roller coaster does. But the cool thing, at least when we look at Hex, is it goes, as it goes up and down. I've mentioned this analogy before, but just kind of like on the chart itself, it does so from what we've seen in an upwards trend. And that's just 1 year, right? Hex is designed to do 10,000x in 2.5 years, similar to what Ethereum did. And then if you look at what Bitcoin's done, which is like now like 60 million, or no, 6 million x from its high of like 60,000. You look at Hex and it's like, man, what if I can have that zoomed out view and that longer time horizon? I mean, really, what is 15 years, 15.2 years for a max term length for staking? That's not a whole long time when you factor and when you figure out that, like, hey, you don't have to lock it for the longest time, and everyone's time horizon's different. But for someone like myself, I mean, the way that I can play this is, I've already got multiple stakes of different lengths and different sizes, but after the first cycle of the 15.2, I can do it for another 15.2 progressively as the first round of those are ending, right? So in reality, this can go on for quite a long time, right? Richard said that it'll go on for a long time, so that's exciting to see. Let's just cover a couple more comments before we get back into the into the website. Hey, Maddie, good to see you. Yeah, dude, Maddie, you're a damn legend, man. Not only, I guess we got like the three musketeers of legends, right? You got Kareem the Dream, which, by the way, hooked up the sweater for doing the Quattro Cinco contest. So glad to have qualified, and appreciate you you sending that over and doing the giveaway. That was awesome. The last time that I talked to him, when I got this a couple days, he said that there was a couple more that he was giving away. So it's kind of like a no strings attached thing. They just had to meet the contest rules, which was 55,000 hex, or no, it was 55,555 hex for Quattro Cinco days. So it was cool to be one of the people that got it. Who's giving their girlfriend the seed? Yep. Maddie knows what's up. Yep. The Fed needs to up their gas limit. Yeah. Not sure what to say to that. Orion, under the video, you will notice a thumbs up button. What happens if you click it? Try and find out. Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I've seen you in my chat a handful of times, so it's good to have you here. Was only, yep. All right, let's see what Bitfinesse is saying. So he says, who is everyone else using for going from USD to Hex? Yeah, Coinbase. I've heard people using Gemini and things like Cash App too. I've heard actually a lot of success from people using Cash App. But he says, not everyone is using Ramp. What's with the crickets? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, personally, I've never had a problem with Coinbase, but I know, yeah, there are other options, right? There's, Gemini, which is like the most. Shit, we got a bug in here. But anyways, we got Gemini, we got Coinbase, we got other exchanges, things like that. Yeah, Will's only mentions Cash App. So, well, that's just the thing. Honestly, I don't. And yeah, I guess there is a contingency there, right? I think it's actually only through like Bitcoin. I think it's just Bitcoin, and then I've seen people wrap that the Ren.bridge, VM or something like that. The Ren bridge. I've seen people just wrap that into Ethereum for Hex. So I know that's kind of a process too, but I've heard of people getting fiat into Ethereum and then into Hex from there as well. But that that is part of the problem, right? The thing about cryptocurrency is it is, in an ideal world, right? It would be completely peer-to-peer and not just peer to exchange. And then, Richard's mentioned it, before many times, but, now you're, buying from an exchange and you have to get on your fucking hands and knees just to get the crypto that's yours. It's like deservingly, yours. And there's a lot of like steps just in the process just to get it. So that is part of the thing that actually the Staker app is doing. If you go to the allmylinks.com/BallietBran, the Staker app does have, Bitfinesse kind of mentioned it briefly, but it does have like I think like Ramp and like Transact, and there's a couple different ways that you can onboard fiat into the actual Staker app itself, and you can do your stakes all on the Staker app itself there too. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Maddie says I've used Coin Mama before, so cool. I'll have to look into it, and because that's the first time I've heard of it, so I'll have to look into that sometime and check it out a little bit more. Let's see, Bitfinesse started a Gemini account today. Not feeling hopeful about it though. Yeah, well, hopefully we can get that problem solved. All right, so let's go back to the website here real quick because we didn't even scroll down once, and then let's do this. Okay. We didn't even scroll down once. Jeez, Bran, stop talking and start scrolling. All right, so it's got the what is Hex, the intro video, right? We've all seen this. And I played it on my intros too, and I'll do those intros again in the future too. But tonight was kind of more of a quick stream, and so I wanted to get on camera as soon as possible, as opposed to having a whole bunch of it just be intro. All right, let's read this other little section here, and let me zoom this in quite a bit. Let's see. So the future of investing is here. Certificates of deposit are common investment tools managed by banks. CDs are used by hundreds of millions of people worldwide, creating a market valued in the trillions of dollars. Hex has taken the concept of CDs, and then it says added significantly higher. Yep. Okay. So let's go back just for that sentence, right? Hex has taken the concept of CDs, added significantly higher average interest rates, and removed banking fees, and turned into a decentralized cryptocurrency. Exactly. No middlemen, right? That's kind of one of the most like freeing things. Even with like the internet has become almost like, I don't know, like it's not completely centralized, right? There's more avenues of freedom as well, and it's not completely, iron fist on the internet yet. So hopefully that doesn't happen in the future. Because you also gotta, in order to, the more you like give up freedoms and whatnot, the harder it is to get them back. So it's cool that we at least have, little bits of freedoms right now with fiat, where we can, get that shit into a better system. And accrue value there for the investments. Let's see. By locking any amount of hex, let's see. You choose. Sorry about this. My reading's pretty bad tonight. So by locking any amount of hex you choose for a period of time between 1 and 5,555 days, you stake your deposit and gain interest every single day. Exactly. Average APY is over 40%. Oh yeah, this is kind of cool to know. So the average APY for a bank CD is less than 2%. And I actually got to give another shout out to Wales Only, right? He covered this on, I believe it was his own stream, but he covered like a screenshot, right, of like four different like traditional CDs, and like 2 to 3%, like I think 2 was like at the higher end. So it's cool that things like cryptocurrency, when Richard was talking about like insurance, when you remove like middlemen, as cryptocurrency like Hex has done, you make it more efficient, and it's just like Amazon, right? Like Amazon is like peer to there's not the store facility itself, and so as far as the cryptocurrencies and Hex goes, there's not that like banking middlemen that can do the dark patterns and that can screw you over on the fees. There's just the smart contract itself. So So it's cool that cryptocurrency has like allowed that. So I got a few more minutes before I gotta shower and get on over to the ladies' place. So we're just gonna go just a few more minutes. So it covers the blockchain CD, highest appreciating asset, removes middlemen, the whole 9 yards. So check it out if you haven't yet. Right, that's the new updated website. And as you scroll down, you see the up and to the right information there. All right, so let's go back to the chat just for a few more minutes, and then we'll get on out of here. So yeah, I've used CoinMama. Great to see. Should I get a Gemini account? USD. Let's see. USD to ErisX same day, but Ethereum send to MetaMask instantly. Oh, buy Ethereum, send to MetaMask instantly. Convert to Hex in MetaMask instantly. Cool. I've used Wire successfully once. Never worked after that. Yeah, I tried that one time too, and I don't know if Washington State was not one of the states that was like not compliant, but it didn't work. It the bank nearly called me and was like, "Oh, is this a fraud transaction?" It's like, "No, that was me just trying to buy crypto. Thanks for reminding me about crypto." Removing middlemen, right? But it's also like a fraud thing too. But yeah, I never had success with Wire personally. But like I said, that could just be a state thing. What about Voyager? Anybody tried it yet? Never heard of it. And that's the other thing too is like, to Crypto Sparboost's point and to Patrick's point is at least layer 2 solutions are. And just like with anything, I think it's going to get better over time. So personally, I did look into a couple things. Like there was like the ZK swap and the quick swap, and there's a whole bunch of fucking second layer solutions. And it's like, man, which one's the best, or which one do you do and which one don't you do, and what's gonna rug pull and what's not gonna. And so at the end of the day, I'm kind of just more of a simpleton, and I got into the whole weeds in 2017, and that's what kind of like fucked me, right? Was not being in something that was, legit and stable, I guess, as far as the asset goes, but was kind of like, doing all these other things. So there's also like the risk allocation, I guess, that you got to ask yourself when you're looking to other things, right? Cool. So thanks, old man Hex. Yep. I won't use an exchange that I can't pick up the phone and call. I like it. I like your way of thinking, my friend. If you ever want to come on, I know, you'd probably get along with a lot of us, right? You do in the chat, so it'd be kind of cool to hear more. And there's a couple other Hexicans that, once I get like moved over from the girlfriend's current apartment, and once we get moved into the new apartment, I plan on changing the stream structure a little bit and just, doing more streams, kind of like one-on-ones with other Hexicans, and just doing some more content for the lack of streams that I've done recently. So, not only do I want to like do it, but it's got to be with intent, right? So it's something I want to start working on a little bit more, is being more thoughtful about, what do I want to cover? How do I want to cover this? How can it benefit just the average person that's just listening to this now and they've never heard about Hex or never heard about cryptocurrency? Why is investing in your future and delaying your gratification rewarding? And, it's already been rewarding for this group of individuals, Hexicans. And the cool thing about Hex is it's very relatable. It's relatable to the Bitcoiners that actually understand Bitcoin. That's why people like Roger Ver, listed it on Bitcoin.com. I believe it was like day 2 when it came out. Roger listed it very recently after Hex was launched. But, that's why you got people like, Roger that are OGs. And then you got just, exchanges that, Richard never asked Binance or Coinbase or any of these people for the listings, right? And Hex isn't listed on those yet. But it was really cool to see like the actual progress of, the exchanges just saying, hey, we're going to list this because, the liquidity and it can be profitable for us. And then, a couple of weeks after Hex, was when Richard started talking about Uniswap and things like this. And tell you what, the automated market maker system in Uniswap and things like this that are actually decentralized without admin keys are, I shouldn't even say like are the future, because they're already here now, right? But in my opinion, I think they will be more frequently used in the future, and they're not going away anytime soon. Some of these people, Old Man Hex mentions, I'm not going to put my money in exchange that I can't, get on the phone with the other person, right? And I agree. Like, I agree with that style of thinking. And then I also agree with, things of like, why are we here? It is to, take back some of your control, especially like financially, right? The things that I was at least told growing up that would be good investments like precious metals. Like, you look at it over, a 10-year time horizon or, a couple decades, and it's like, man, I don't know, maybe this isn't where all the mad gains are, right? The market seems to have already kind of priced those in. So the cool thing is Bitcoin's already done now 6 million X in about 12 years. And Bitcoin is like the choo-choo train, right? It is the thing that's just like chugging along. And as far as the actual blocks and the blockchain itself, it's, longest chain and all this stuff. And, it's chugging along, and dear God, I hope it stays chugging along, right? We in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, not just in Hex, need to realize that Bitcoin is kind of like the backbone, right? If you don't have backbone, the whole thing falls apart. So Bitcoin really is that. And, it is cool to, listen to Richard and, hear that, billions of dollars are coming in. And once again, Richard mentions the same thing. He did trading for a long time and technical analysis for a long time, right? And he's updated his worldview once again and realized the market's changed. Like this actual structure of the chart has changed, and it's not making sense. It's not doing what its last fractal did as far as the drop downs. And cryptocurrency, it's a ever evolving thing in market, and we can just see that looking at the charts. Well, we got just another 5 minutes, maybe. We'll look at the Hex chart just to kind of illustrate the point that I want to make. I got so many tabs up. It's like, man, where is it? There it is. So Uniswap.hex.vision. The pink lines are just, and I know Bitfinex is probably gonna hate me for this, but we're doing a white background, damn it. So yeah, this is just version 2, but even if you just do to make the point even more, right? Version 1 is the absolute price is the history, price history. And as Bitcoin did its 6 million X, similar to Hex, right? It's just gone like this. Like when I mentioned like the line up and down like that, kind of like a DNA coil type thing. It coils upwards and into the right direction. I mean, you could just do a couple of lines going like that, diagonal upward, similar to Hex's design, and just see, oh, okay, Hex is doing exactly what its logo does, right, up and to the right. So yeah, Axis, yeah, dude, it was cool to stream with you for a little bit the other day. That was kind of like a pop on stream, like I didn't plan to, and it was cool that Wells Only was streaming with you, and for me to come on for a few minutes too. So that was awesome. You guys bring a perspective that is necessary, right? Because even for someone like myself that's been streaming for now a handful of months, sometimes I'm not seeing what other people are seeing, and honestly, with the frequency that I stream, other people are noticing things, and it's so cool that the Hexican community, we can all like gather around the table, right, and like share each bit of knowledge and information. And it's not because we have to, but it's because we want to. And as we listen to streams, even if it's Wales kind of mentioned this a lot, but like, even if I have to repeat the same thing multiple times over and over and over again, sometimes sorry about that. Sometimes you have people that take more times to learn something than another, or maybe if you repeat something more frequently, maybe you think your audience are just people that have tuned in a whole bunch of times, but maybe you also have someone that's new, right? So the more you can kind of repeat the positive aspects of what is Hex, what is cryptocurrency, why a lot of people think like the Harry Dent guy was like, a mega bear, and I honestly haven't done a whole bunch of research on it, but you could tell he was in traditional finance, and even still is for many decades, and has called bubbles and whatnot. But I agreed with Richard's last point, which was like, Harry's point was like, okay, the bubble itself like is going to pop and it's going to be like a mega crash. And Richard was kind of talking about like, well, as long as they, keep printing, dollar and just helicopter money, things might go, the actual value of it might go down in dollar, but it's still going to go up on the chart, if that makes sense. Like, you'd have to watch the stream that Richard just did, and y'all should really check it out. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. So let's see. Access to Live says, I think we're doing it again tomorrow. If you are free, hey, I'll definitely see if I can. We're still getting moved over, but if I can hop on for 30 or 45 just to say what's up, that'd be awesome. He says, it was nice to have you on for your input and to ask good questions and direct the topic in a productive direction. Thank you. Hey, man. Yeah, thank you. And good to see you as well. It was really cool to hear your input. And just in general, similar to RG3, where he's mentioned it from day one that the intention of Discourse Syndicate was for you guys, right? Was for all of us. And, I sensed that from day one that I found him, and was happy to jump on stream with him and Discourse Syndicate. And, I look forward to doing that again soon when I'm not busy on a Friday night, because I miss the layout and the people and stuff like that. But, to Access Alive's point is, it is nice to listen to different perspectives. And, so some people are so like one directional, right, with their thinking, bi-directional, and I guess binary. But the cool thing about the Hexicans is a lot of us do share similar intentions and values and stuff like this. And so, we can see like, oh, this person is older and I can learn from them, or this person is younger and I can learn from them. I always take the approach of like, chew the meat, spit out the bone type deal. Like, get whatever value you can from people. Even if everything, the whole content itself is not, your cup of tea, at least pick out the bits and pieces, right? So that's actually a good little segue to kind of end the stream, but to actually unintentionally even promote a side gig that we got here. So it's on youtube.com. I mean, the alias that I had before coming out as BallietBran was just Brian Jones. And I do have a couple right here. Cool. So, whoops, that's actually, shit, that was a long time ago. Brian, you gotta, that's another thing I'm, trying to do too, is like, with how much I like to do the streaming and whatnot, it's engaging, it's fun and all that. But, there is a balance to life, and, trying to get back into, some healthier habits and just some healthier diet too. So that is the cool thing about Hex, right? Is even some of us in the community, right? If we're close enough with each other, just like with my brothers and myself, or, my dad and myself, we can kind of keep each other accountable if that's something that people choose to do. So the little promo that I was going to say is similar to Hex Clips, right? Hex Clips has a YouTube channel, which is great. I know they've gotten a lot of great videos that are on there. I did so I only have 3 videos up so far, but I've got a whole bunch of clips, even on BallietBran, that I've done, throughout the X amount of months that I'm going to re-upload into the the secondary account. Oh shit! I'm not even sharing the screen. Guys, why didn't you tell me? Come on. So, anyways, we're gonna end just in a couple of minutes here, but you can go to this account here, just Brian Jones, and you can even just type in the. I'm actually gonna like this while we're at it, but you can see, I've got a few videos that I've done. 1 second, let me go forward. So yeah, these are the 3 videos that I've done. This one was from the most recent stream, right? And I made sure to get the video that had the upgraded audio, because when Richard did the stream originally, it had a little bit lower input. And, the chat's always bitching, of course, about the audio's low. So Richard re-uploaded it into 4K and into a higher quality audio. But to say that, Richard Hart explains to Harry Dent why Hex is the second mover's advantage in cryptocurrency. That's one thing that Harry talked about. And, that's kind of how I feel like with Bitcoin and Hex, right? Bitcoin was kind of the first mover. So it's got that first mover's adoption and advantage, but it's also got those critical vulnerabilities, and it's got those, chinks in the armor that don't make it as strong. Oh yeah, share it in the chat. Yeah, you're right. I need to do that. So it also has got some chinks in the armor, right? That need to be addressed and that need to be acknowledged, especially if you're parking your money there, because those types of things have caused the price to tank and have caused the markets to turn bearish. So just know what you're investing in if you are going to invest, because at the end of the day, all you can really rely on is yourself and to verify information that you're listening to or being told. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. Gonna go hang out with the lady and get showered and whatnot and peace out for the night. But I might, don't know if it'll be in the cards yet, but I'd love to. So Axis says that tomorrow him and Wills are going to go live, so definitely tune in for that. I know that's the cool thing too, is like I know that even if I haven't been streaming a whole bunch recently as much as I'd like to, I've gone on Motley's channel recently for the Nights of the Crypto for like an hour. I can still at least participate even in the chat room as much as I can, or participate to it by listening to it. So I'll definitely be, at the very least, listening to their stream and watching it tomorrow, and hopefully can tune in for a little bit in between, packing up the boxes and whatnot. So can't guarantee, but we're definitely going to do it again soon, and might be as soon as tomorrow. So thank you, everyone. You can go to allmylinks.com/BallietBran if you want to find more, or BallietBran.com. I still need to update things on the website a little bit more, but that's the website for now. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and it was good seeing y'all. It was a much needed stream. So just like working out, to get rid of stress relief, the stream is always nice to, not only fill some of the time of Discourse Syndicate not going tonight, but to also like hang out with the fam and just engage the brain a little bit. So congrats RG3 on the anniversary. We covered the information about the Fed going down for a little bit. And, Hex, it's got 100%. Oh, jeez. Fran, come on. What are you doing? Sorry. Hex has, 100% uptime, and it's got, just incredible features that are going to be around for a long time. And, so it's an amazing thing to check out if you haven't already. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Identity. Thank you, Access. Extremely desirable. I know you're always in the chat. All right. Peace out.